Hi, I'm going to be swearing tonight. My tablet is absolutely annoying. It keeps on saving power every few seconds. It's stupid. Anyway, I've resurrected the looking at the new titles that are coming out from DC, Marvel, and Image, um, the advanced listing. So this is looking at titles that are coming out, brand new titles that are coming out in February 2026. So yeah, so let's go to it. So let's have a look. So I'm on League of Comic Geeks, and I'm just going to look at what new ones might be of interest to people. So we're looking at the first week in February. So this is the 4th of February, and so far, okay, there's one here, which is DCKO Boss Battle #1. So this is a spin-off from the KO series, which is a 5-issue series from DC, overseen by Scott Snyder, which is where basically there's this big like mass fight going on. So this one, it says, save our world, they must battle the champions of other worlds. Unexpected fighters from beyond the DC universe enter the arena. Wait, what? Who? As the remaining champions in this KO tournament prepare for the final rounds, they discover that there isn't enough Omega energy left to crown the winner King Omega. To have any hope of stopping Darkseid, they'll need to engage in combat with the champions of other worlds beyond our own, including Annabelle, Homelander, Sub-Zero, and more. This shocking star-studded crossover sets the stage for the final chapters of the epic DC KO event and features matchups you've never imagined possible. The Ultimate Battle is only the beginning. So it's 40 pages, $4.99, so that's not bad. That's the cover. I don't know if you can see that. And it's written by Jeremy Adams is the prime writer on it, and there's story edits by Joshua Williamson. Comedy Giandomenico and Ronan Cricket are the artists. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be buying this or not. I am enjoying KO, but I don't know if you just want to keep it just to that 5-issue series. But there's definitely an appeal to it as well because it'd be just interesting to see what they can do with that concept. So if you are interested, it's coming out first week in February, $4.99. But like I said, it is 40 pages. And why am I obsessing over the page counts? You'll find out as we go on when we come to says publisher. Yes, Marvel, Marvel, Marvel. But talking of Marvel, there is a new #1 coming out in this week, and this is Magic and Colossus #1. So this is not this is Marvel's wonderful thing of where they do a series for 10 issues or less, and then they stop it and start it with a brand new ongoing series which lasts between 6 issues and 10 issues. So this is Magic and Colossus. So Magic's back with Colossus. It's got a DNA cover. And it says Ilyana Rasputin is a cynical sorceress with power harnessed from the dark realm of Limbo. Pyotr Rasputin is made of metal but with a heart much softer than his exterior. But despite being family, blood does not run thicker than water. When they return to their mother country, they discover ancient monsters from Russian folklore preying on the innocent. Can these two mutant siblings set aside their differences to save their country? And it's by the same team who did Magic. So why not just call it carry on with the numbering? I don't get this. And it's 32 pages, $4.99. What this means is that with Marvel, when it's for it'll be an extra 2 pages of story. So it'll be about 24 pages of story, and then it'll go to $3.99 the next issue. It annoys me when they do this. It really does. Okay, so I'm not gonna get that. I've no interest. I tried the Magic comic when it first came out. I found it boring and badly written. But she, as an IP character, they sell. People like Magic. It's the Cheesecake Factor. So it doesn't matter if I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to affect it if I don't buy it, but it'll be popular. This is the one thing that really bugs me with Marvel. They've so focused on an IP, on an intellectual property, instead of the creative teams behind them. I've not got a clue who that creative team is. But like I said, it's the one who did the original one. With I'm not getting any of the X-Men titles, just to be upfront. I do get some in the collective format, so I am enjoying Gail Simone. Gail Simone's run, especially Uncanny X-Men, and Jed McKay's run is okay. But I'm just getting them in collected editions because there's so much spin-offs and crossovers. Like with this new, right? I think they're bringing out like 5 different X-Men titles each week at the moment with this big event. What's going on? So it's just not cost effective. I'd rather just choose what I want to get. Um, and another one that's been relaunched as well after this Age of Extinction or whatever it's called event is Storm's coming back with a volume 2. Again, why not just carry on with the same numbering? So again, $4.99. It's the same team. That's the cover. I don't want to read the synopsis because I've just I have got Storm Volume 1 in book form. I heard it is quite good, I've just not read it yet. There's a facsimile coming out. Obviously, everybody's all hyped on the crossover of intercompany crossovers that was going on between DC and Marvel. Me personally, no interest, never have done. It's not something that rocks my boat. The only thing I will get will be the Swamp Thing is killing the children crossover with Something is Killing the Children because it's by James Tynion and it's by whoever Del Toro or whatever it's called, the guy who illustrates Something is Killing the Children. So it's going to be a grown-up book. I'm looking forward to that. But they're bringing out a facsimile of the Superman and Spider-Man crossover from the 70s. But it will be a lot more expensive than, it won't be $2.99 or whatever it was when it first came out. I think it was either the late 70s, early 80s when it came out originally. So I think this one will be retailing for about $14.99, but it'll be the big treasury editions. And then we have Godzilla Infinity Roar from Marvel. Oh my god. Okay. So this is by Jerry Duggan. Artwork is by Ig Guara and Javier Garon. Not got a fucking clue. Don't know who they are. I know who Jerry Duggan is. So says the combined forces of Earth's mightiest heroes managed to spare Earth by exiling Godzilla off into space, but in doing so may have just heralded the end of a larger galaxy. So it's Godzilla goes intergalactic with all of the intergalactic cosmic superheroes. Now get this, 32 pages. See if you can, okay, be Marvel before $4.99. No, $5.99. Definitely not guessing that. It's not worth it. You'd be guessing me getting quite exasperated with this because there's a lot of Marvel comics that are really, really overpriced for what you get. It's crazy. It's like they want to put people off buying the stuff. Um, Again, no cover for this one, but Jeff the Landshot's coming back and it's called Jeff Meets Daredevil. One shot, 32 pages, $5.99. No cover to show. Especially Jeff, I mean, I thought Jeff was saying about a younger market. So they're outpricing a comic from reaching the target audience because Jeff's really popular with like pre-teens as well. And they're not going to shell out $5.99 just for a 32-page comic. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think this is what made me stop doing new releases because I used to get frustrated with Marvel all the time with the prices that they're charging. So there's a special one shot coming out from DC. This again, we're still in the first week of February. This is Superman Chains of Love special. So it's a Valentine's Day special. $5.99, but 48 pages. Fine. So it's a one shot, like short romance stories. Dan Slott, Lee Williams are the writers on it. Iguara, who did the Godzilla one that I just mentioned, and Rosie Campi are the artists. Never heard of both of them. And that's the cover. So if you want a Valentine's Superman themed comic, that's the one to try. And oops, like I said, I'm only doing Marvel, DC, and Image. I'd be here all night if I did any others. There's just too many publishers nowadays. Now there is another new number one. Oh, why do they keep giving this guy employment? The cover is horrible. It's traced to perfect. It's traced like mad. It's horrible. The concept intrigues me, and fair play for Marvel. This is quite a reasonably priced book, but it's Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four. It's 32 pages, $4.99. It's by the creative team of Josh Trujillo and Andrew DeVito is the artist whose work I have seen is quite good. But god damn it, the cover artist is Greg Land. Oh, I hate his artwork. If anything will put me off buying a comic, it's to see his his covers are just horrible. So yeah, that's coming out. Yeah, I mean, that in theory that works because I mean, Fantastic Four are a science-based superhero team, so they could easily travel to a parallel dimension where sort of Planet of the Apes. So yeah, it's a good idea, but get your creative team sorted out. And again, the price isn't too bad. So hopefully that's it for this first week of February. We shall see. Oh, there's another number one from Image. Uh, but my tablet is annoying me because it keeps throwing me out. Let's have a look. It is the Orc. So it says, armed with nothing but a magical yet ambitiously violent shield, shades of barbaric, a lonely orphan stumbles headfirst into Sunderain's never-ending war between the light and dark, elves versus orcs, wizards versus common sense, dragons versus literally everyone, and caught dead center, the orc. With a wholly inconvenient doomsday prophecy, the half-dwarf, half-orc, old Orc is fated to end the world. Soon, every human, elf, goblin, dwarf, snaggletooth, necroid, ice giant, trollama, and at least three other unpronounceable magical creatures will know his name and want him dead. There'll be a chicken. Join fan favourite artist Brett Bean, who's done art on I Hate Fairyland. And it's got the colours from I Hate Fairyland and the letter from Minor Threats, Nate Picos. And it looks like it's written by Brett Bean as well. I'm not. I stopped following I Hate Fairyland, so I'm not familiar with his work. It could be good. It could be cringe, but that's the cover. If you're a fan of I Hate Fairyland, it might be worth trying number one at least. Is there any more to trip me up before we get to the next? That's it for that week. So we're now looking at the 11th of February, so the second week. And there is an annual, Absolute Wonder Woman Annual 2026, number one. 48 pages, $5.99, so again, good value. Unlike the Absolute Batman one, this is written by the writer of the regular title. So Kelly Thompson is writing. Artwork is Mattia de Lewis. This is the cover. And it says, the first Absolute Wonder Woman annual is here. The experience of briefly becoming Medusa in order to save Gateway City changed Diana. That must be a plot that we've not read yet. It haunts her, and she has never stopped seeking an answer from the gods. Her pleas to Athena have gone unanswered until now. If she wants justice, the mission is deadly and uncertain. Is it worth the risk just to set right one injustice? So I'll be getting that. I'm enjoying all the absolute titles, so definitely getting that. The Batman Ultimate Annual didn't disappoint, so I'm sure that won't either. Let's have a look. Not going to show it, but worth of note, because it's quite a landmark number for an indie comic. Spawn reaches number 375, $3.99. And there's yet another X-Men title coming out. Good writer on it. I think this is a 5-issue or a 4-issue series. So they're now launching a new thing called Shadows of Tomorrow. And this focuses on Cyclops. It says the one-eyed X-Men is unleashed. Yes, it's got Summers. That's the cover. And it's by Alex Packnell writing, who's a really good writer. I missed the chance to see him do a signing at my local comic shop this weekend. I forgot about it. And art is Roque Antonio, who I have not got a clue, never heard of them. I think Marvel just have like a billion Italian and Brazilian artists just locked up somewhere. There's a new one from another one from Marvel, number one. So again, being a number one, it'd be $4.99, and I think it'll switch to $3.99. 32 pages, and it's Wade Wilson Deadpool. Dangerous, unhinged, deadly. Deadpool is a man on the brink, and that means the jobs are deadlier, the stakes are higher, and the humour is darker than ever before. So it's written by the writer of Red Hulk and the artist done by the artist of Red Hulk. So Jeff Shaw is the artist. Benjamin Percy is the writer. I don't know. I like the artist. I love the writer. But I hate Deadpool. I really do not like him as a character, but that's the cover. So I honestly don't know if I'll buy it. I can't. No, he's a character that grates. He's fine in films, no problem with films, but in comics, I just find him cringe. I think he's one of those that hasn't aged very well. He's very 90s, put it that way. Uh, and surprise, surprise, there's a new Mark Spector Moon Knight comic, issue number one. So legacy numbering 256. Why not just carry on with the original numbering? Stupid. $4.99. So that means it can pump up the price for this issue because it's a number one. And I think it goes back to $3.99. But it's by the same team. Jed McKay on writing and new artist Dev Promenick, who is a good artist. I think he did the recent Silver Surfer comic. And that's the cover. But yeah, is it really a new number one? It's just Carry On. Oh, Marvel, you're stupid. You really are. I'm trying to love Marvel, and they really are making it hard. There's about 4 new titles that I wanted to get, and I just can't because they're pricing them out. They're too expensive for what they are. Um, there's a Witchblade annual coming out, $5.99. Not much interest in Witchblade. This is exciting. The first of the Vertigo titles, new Vertigo titles, comes out in the second week of February. And this is Bleeding Hearts. It says the zombies won, and 10 years after the fall of humanity, they're the dominant form of life or not life on Earth. They develop their own cultural practices, their own language, their own society. Mouse pokes golf ball through hole in head, poke for short. Is a beloved member of his community. With his brother in arm Mush, he's happy to shamble along through the only world he can remember until the day his heart mysteriously starts beating again. This is going to be good. It's by Dennis Camp with art by Stepan Morian, colours by Matt Hollingsworth. Now get this. This is a Vertigo title. They could have charged $5.99 for it. It's 40 pages, $3.99. See what I mean? See what I mean? So yeah, that's on my list. I'm stopping quite a few titles to make room for the new titles coming out from Vertigo in 2026. I am very, very excited and looking forward to that. And there's a Jar Jar book, one issue, $3.99, one shot. Yeah. There's a new Black Label comic, DC Sirens Love Hurts, $5.99, cardstock, 32 pages, but with the DC ones, when $5.99, it's 32 pages, no ads, so it's a solid 32 pages of story, cardstock cover, and it's by Teen Howard and Babstar. Babstar's a really nice artist. That's the cover, and it features Catwoman, Black Canary, Harley. Yeah, so I don't know. That'll be one I want to look at in the shop, I think, before deciding. And then there's a DC Whip Work in Progress Dark Knights metal. So it's the full issue of Dark Knights, but it'll be in this big, oversized, like art paper size, so Bristol board size um, reproduction of the first issue of Dark Knights metal. So, but the pencils have all the rub outs and Tipex marks and everything on it. So it'd be like an artist edition of a comic, $14.99 if you're into that kind of thing. So that'd be Greg Capullo's artwork. There's a Black Panther 60th anniversary special. $6.99 for 48 pages. $6.99. And no Marvel, that'll be 30 pages of story, if that. Um, why can't they just do. And it's by Christopher Priest, good writer, Cody Sigler, good writer, Evan Narcisse, never heard of, Murari Ayudole, I think he does the Storm comic, so he's meant to be a good writer. And then Alifa Martinez, Idam Messias, and George Dianti on art. The only one I know though is George Dianti. And so yeah, it's a celebration of Black Panther. Why is Marvel so expensive? Why? They're like the biggest comic company and yet they charge the most. And they bring it all out on shitty, crappy paper. Crazy. They don't do cardstock. They don't do prestige. They don't take risks. Oh, it frustrates. I used to love Marvel because they were pioneers back in the 80s. I'm showing the age now, but now, they're just say faceless. Another Marvel one, Fall of Ultraman, $4.99. There's a facsimile of the original Punisher series, and it's $6.99 for issue one. Oof, for a facsimile. There's a new Image comic. It's a H.P. Lovecraft adaptation called The Thing on the Doorstep. I was going to get it, but then I looked at the creator team, and there's a series out about a few years back called Antarctica, and it's by the same creator team, and they're not good. So and that's why I'm not giving them a big shout on here. They really are not good. The artwork was ugly, and the story was very, very average at best. And that's that for that week. So we're on to the 18th now. Good God, and it's been 24 minutes already. So let's have a look. And we have nothing so far. There's a Wolverine miniseries called Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon. This is a prelude to a series that's coming out called Armageddon by Chip Zdarsky. This is written by Chip Zdarsky as well. with art by Luca Maresca. I don't know. And oh my god, where is it now? 32 pages, $5.99 yet again. Fuck off, Marvel. Fuck right off. It's yeah, superstar writer Chip Zdarsky. So what? I'm still not going to pay $5.99 for a normal size comic. So yeah, again, it's going into the Weapon X program. I don't know. I don't know. I might wait. I like Chip, but he can be hot or he can be really very mid. So it depends which Chip we get. I'm not paying $5.99. I might trade wait for that if I do feel any interest in it later on. So there's that. And then we have Generation X 23, number one. Again, because it's a number one, $4.99, then the next one will be $3.99, but same page count. And it's written by Jody Hauser, who's not a bad writer. Popular artist Jacopo Kamangi. Come on, we all know what he's done. No, we don't. Okay. That's the cover. So X23, Generation X23. So it's all the iterations of X23. So Laura Kinney and Gabby. You know, too much more X-Men stuff. Keep it lean, keep it mean, and I'd be interested, but it's bloated. It's very, very bloated. And is there anything else on this month? Please let there not be anything else. Oh, no, please let there be something else. There's another Vertigo title, End of Life. $3.99 again, 40 pages. And this is written by Cal Starks, who's a great writer. Artwork by one of my all-time favourite artists, Steve Pugh. This is the cover. Glare. And it says here, professional hitman Eddie Stallion has messed up. He's accidentally robbed the Raven, a high-ranking boss of the international cable of assassins, the menagerie, of which Eddie is a member, or he was. Now, with a price on his head, Eddie chooses to hide in the one place everyone knows he'd never go. The small Midwestern town of Pluto, home of his estranged father, known hard-ass and home of his estranged father and known hard-ass George Stallion. Looking for safe harbour, Eddie instead finds his resentful father dying of cancer, old friends looking to collect the bounty, menagerie assassins who have wandered into town, a cancelled newspaper comic strip creator turned local crime lord, and oh yeah, his childhood first love too. I'll get that. It's Cal Starks. It's going to be fun. I'm so excited that we're getting Vertigo again. I was a huge Vertigo fan back in the day, so yeah, made up for that. I've stopped a lot of mainstream DC comics just to make space for them. And oh, there's another one which is of interest. There's a Marvel one, Deadly Hands of Kunlun, which is a 5-issue series, I think. Kind of spinning off from the Iron Fist. Well, I can't. No, fuck it. Series. It's written by Yifan Yang, artwork by Paco Medina. Not got a fucking clue. I mean, I know Paco Medina, no idea who the writer is, but yeah, it's something very thinly to do with the original Iron Fist, and it features Elektra, White Tiger, White Fox, and Pie. Yeah, whatever. Just bring back the classic Deadly Hands Kung Fu black and white magazine. I'd be happy. But that's just so watered down. It holds no interest whatsoever for me. Let's have a look. And there was another one. What was it? Oh yeah, from Image. This will be really nice. Martin Simmons is back on a comic, not just Departments of Truth. and it's written by Tyler Boss, who's a good writer, and it's part of the Universal Monsters line. And this is the Phantom of the Opera, 4 issues again, $4.99. Being a nice cardstock covers what they have as well. Cannot wait. That'll be so good. I love the whole range of titles in the Universal Monsters stable. Even the ones that weren't as strong as some of the others, they're still better than a lot of regular comics. So yeah, definitely on my pull list. And we move over to the 25th of February. And we have nothing so far. Now, this was a comic I was going to get until I saw the price. So Marvel again, fucking me over. I'll trade weight for this because I just refuse to pay $5.99 for 32 pages. And it's the Punisher in an all new ongoing series. Jigsaw comes back, and it's got Benjamin Percy on writing, so it's bringing over the writer from the Red Band series with Jose Luis Suarez Pinto. I don't know. On arts, never heard of them. Um, yeah, so that's the thing. But yeah, I will just get the um, trade for that. I just refuse to pay that amount because it'd be 20 pages of story, 20 at the most 25 pages of story for the first issue, and then it'll jump down to 20 pages because that's what Marvel do. Um, it's a shame. I would have got it, but they put me off buying the first one because it's Red Band. I don't buy bagged comics just because I think they're an unnecessary gimmick and it annoys me and it's a waste. In this day and age, wrapping stuff needlessly in plastic as well. Yeah, I'm a bit green, but it annoys me. There's no need for it. And there's another one shot, 32 pages, $5.99. So it must be a Marvel comic. And it's Amazing Spider-Man, Venom, Death Spiral. So there's a new big crossover. So if you are buying Spider-Man and you think, oh, it's great, Spider-Man's just Spider-Man, nothing else. Oh no, it's in loads of crossovers this coming year, and it's by Joe Kelly and Al Ewing. And there's a new character called Spiral, like another symbiote kind of character. So tired. And is that it? There's a new another Vertigo number one. This is a 6 issue series. Again, $3.99, 40 pages. And this one I'm really looking forward to because of the creative team. The Peril of the Brutal Dark, an Ezra Kane mystery. So it's set in the 40s by a private investigator called Ezra Kane. So it's a noirish action by Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, who did that series from Image, whose name I can't remember just yet. That Texas Blood. So I love them, and the cover's fantastic. So yeah, that's a must buy for me. And if you like good comics, I highly recommend anything that creative team does. There's a spin-off from the new history of DC Universe. This is the Dakota Incidents. So this one features the milestone characters and black characters. I don't like how I think in this day and age, they're still segregating black characters. Why not just include it in normal history? But there we go. $5.99. There's a new Predator comic, $4.99 for the first issue. Don't know if you'll carry on like that for the rest of it. Called Bloodshed. It's set in the near future. and it's kind of like a tournament by the looks of it. And it's written by Jordan Morris, never heard of. Artwork by Roland Boschi, never heard of. And that's the cover. I remember back in the day when the Predator comics, when Dark Horse did them, had writers and artists that you knew. I'm becoming like that gif of the Simpsons granddad waving at the clouds. But I want Marvel to be good. They're doing some good stuff. Like I'm tempted with Iron Man, even though the first issue's $5.99. That one is showing as being 40 pages, so we'll at least get about 28, 30 pages of story. And it's Joshua Williamson on the writing, and the art looks really nice. So after that, it'll be $4.99 a regular issue. So I'm not as aggrieved by that price point for that one. But they do make it hard for me to love them now. It's just more the business practices, how they're just so very, they don't care. I'm just going to post it because there was another comic from Image. Just want to try and find it. Okay, so yeah, there was one that I missed. This is coming out on the 18th, and it's an Image comic. It's not showing good signs when it's like way down on the League of Comic Geeks release list because it's done. They show it in order of preference, and this is really really low down. But it does intrigue me because I like dystopian books, and it's called White Sky. It's $3.99, 32 pages. It's written by William Harms, who's been written like stuff for game developers and stuff like that. Art by Jean-Paul Mavinga. It's been touted as having a similar flavour to The Last of Us. It says 5 years ago the sky turned white and the world ended. Violet and her father David are forced out of hiding and flee towards the ruins of San Francisco where they believe they'll be safe. But in this haunted world ruled by ghosts, no place is safe. So it's an ongoing series. The cover looks nice. I've looked at previews of the artwork and it does look really nice. So that could be a potential maybe. So there's quite a number of titles that are coming out that have interest. There's some Marvels that I do want to get, but the price points are just making me think I'll get this one, but not that one. I've just got to be stringent because $5.99 cannot be justified when it's a 32-page comic. It really can't. But March is the one that I'm really looking forward to next year because it's the start of the DC Next Level range of titles, and there's some really interesting teams that are being whispered about. So looking forward to that. So yeah, it feels good to be able to do the releases again. Hope you enjoy that, and thank you for your patience. It's been nearly 40 minutes, and do let me know if any of those titles interested you as well. And yeah, so bye.